Some folks say the troubles are over. Others say our troubles have just begun. Our story is a complicated one. It's a story of violence and division. It's also a tribute to hard-won peace and reconciliation and the people still caught between the lines. It passes from one generation to the next. It hurts and heals in equal measure. The men might try to claim it, but this story belongs to women too. We've been holding on for so many years. Holding our families, holding our stories, holding on to each other for dear life. How much longer must we hold on?
Want something constructive to come out of his destruction. We have interrupted the culture of failure in Northern Ireland. There is no going back.
Women have organised themselves around the city. It's so refreshing.
Women's centres grew up and mushroomed during the Troubles, and that came about through European funding. In Northern Ireland, when the women's centres started, there were very clearly two communities, the green and the orange. Women were prepared to cross the divide, and it was women who were prepared to look at need. There were so many issues of commonality as opposed to differences. There were people that could never say or voice their fears. They just wanted to come to a safe, shared space and be empowered to have a voice. So how do you really give women a voice? And who's listening to the voice of women now? My name's Eleanor Jordan, and I work at Windsor Women's Centre, which is in the village of South Belfast. Our mission statement is to empower women and their families. Windsor Women's Centre started in 1990 in a wee house just 2 up, 2 down. We deliver a range of services that empower women and promote active participation of women in all spheres of life. So whether it's mental health through counselling or treatments to women, cross-community work, education and childcare. And we would see us as a rapid response to need.
Row, row, row your boat gently down the stream. Merrily, 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 life is but a dream. My name is Fiona and I grew up in West Belfast in pre-peace process Northern Ireland. I wanted to leave Northern Ireland as soon as I could. I got involved with a man. I wasn't in a very established relationship with him and I fell pregnant. I ran to the place I left so many years ago. Coming home to Northern Ireland wasn't easy. There was a massive divide from family and I had no support here. That first 3 months, I'll never forget. I really, really struggled. The lack of sleep and trying to breastfeed on my own, and I had a constant fear that something really, really, really bad was coming. I needed help. I was very, very isolated until I opened up with my health visitor and I told her everything. And she made a referral to the Windsor Women's Centre. I was able to drop Trinity off to a place where she was going to interact with other people who had more time and energy and strength to play with her. But this time was crucial for me. I was able to use those 3 hours to almost recoup, and I got to meet other mums. We all were suffering from some sort of mental health problems or worries, so it was quite empowering to come together to receive that peer support.
Since the ceasefire in 1998, domestic violence, child abuse, people who take their own lives have risen really scarily because unemployment, prisoner release, and also Being in a tight community like the village, where so many people were shot and killed.
We set out with the mindset of bringing people together, mums of all ages, from young mums to grandparents. So when we started out, it was just about getting together, really, wasn't it? Yeah. It was about keeping that connection. Even though we lived in such a built-up little area in a busy wee city, it was about how isolating and lonely it is once you become a mum. So what else do you do outside of here?
Nothing.
Is there any other wee groups that you go to
Nope, it's
that
nothing.
are as awesome as us?
Nope, no. There is nothing, there's nothing.
Would you think outside of here or in the big bad world, you know, through hospitals, that maternal health is now seen?
I don't think so. No.
You know, you have to be at that extreme point of complete mental breakdown before
I get help.
anybody gets help.
And we've all been there,
And
every
it's-
one of us.
Yeah, it's quite a sad.
But you can go to the doctors and all they want to do is give you a tablet
There's
anyway. They
tablet.
don't want to give you
Aye,
any
well, you'll be fine in a couple of
other
days.
help. Yeah.
Make your own support network, there is no support network.
Aye.
That's very true.
This area is a very proud, loyalist area who now, through the time, feel pretty betrayed by everybody. There's been different tensions and challenges with local paramilitaries, with incoming migrants, and that this area now is very multicultural, and that's a challenge for local people who feel threatened and have never been exposed, you know, to different races and cultures.
My name is Josephine. I'm originally from Nigeria and I live in the village. I came to Northern Ireland 2011, a single mom with no family around. It wasn't easy for me. Honestly, the name village is a village. It is very, very intimidating for foreigners. For more than 2 years with my child, it wasn't easy. I remember one summer, he was marked by the children calling him nigger. They were throwing eggs at me. The police came and all the police could say is that they are just children. There's nothing they can do. Now I feel comfortable there only with the help of the center. They have come out in person, talking to people, knocking door by door, telling them, this lady, she lives in the neighborhood and she's part of us. Can you please welcome her and the son? With the help of the center, that same family that were throwing eggs at me has been of help to me as well. My son managed to open the door and went out on his own. This same family that I had problem with were the one that saw him and took him into their house, gave him a warm coat and a breakfast. This really gave me a different perception of the village.
People's view of a village is something cute, you know, like an English village with a wee church and a wee pond. This village really is so deprived. Everything is, you know, degenerating. People's front door and their living room window is literally on the street. So you live in a very public way here, really. And I think there's a feeling in this area of being watched.
There's not only a physical barrier up between the Catholic and the Protestant districts. What's even more important, there's an invisible barrier of fear between those two communities.
A lot of people are still suffering trauma over this past 40, 50 years. I just feel there'll never be peace here. There's not many families have escaped somebody getting injured or killed. My name's Annabelle Kinnear. I was born and brought up on the Shankill Road. I started using the centre in 2002. I've actually got to meet women from Catholic backgrounds. We've had cross-community groups and we just get on great together. We go to their centre and they come to our centre, and we've had a few day trips with them and everybody's got on great. It's like a meeting point and a social life for me because I don't go out. I don't like going out in the dark. Through the centre, I've been for counselling and I think it really helped. Sometimes I'm full of pains. I can be depressed and I feel as if I get a lift if I come round here. The company. It's great to have company. We'll have more laughs than enough, like.
What do you think of Dublin? No?
I don't really fancy it.
Well, we'll have to wait and see what Brexit have done, so won't we? Because it's foreigners.
What do you mean?
It's telling you on the television if you're travelling soon, because there's Brexit, everything's going to change. You have to get your green card for driving if you go down south of the border.
Right.
Oh, well, I got my green card. Ring up your insurance company.
She's all prepared. Oh, she is.
It's only 110 miles.
Well, apparently sure you can do it in what, an hour and 20 minutes now or something?
I
Right
can
now.
do it in an hour and 5.
Sure, she's Speedy Gonzales, so she is. Oh, aye.
Every year we have to apply for funding, just so as we can keep our doors open. 27 women work here, all reduced hours to work around their families or other commitments, but they're a minimum wage. It's a disgrace. All of us have no security, none. What we say is that the money hasn't come. If it comes, there's your job. We work on in faith the nightmare of stress of people waiting to hear, I mean, can they pay their rent the next month? So what we do is try and spend time on staff care.
At the heart of what we do, it's about enabling women to access services, to achieve qualifications, giving women a chance to realize their potential. My name is Satya Roberts. I started working for a Windsor Women's Centre in May 2000. Communication is a broader thing in which language is a very, very vital part, Ethnic minority women who come to our classes are dealing with very, very complex issues like social services, interacting with the teachers and the doctors. So they need language at a very high level. That kind of holistic view of inclusion is something I've always tried to bring.
My name is Majida. I am from Sudan. I have been living in Belfast since 2011. I came here because my country has a war everywhere. My uncle gives somebody money. I go in the boat, I don't know where he's going. I left my country, Darfur, to Libya. Like 7 days, I think, in the water. Now I'm going to safe place. I'm so scared about everything. When I came here, I saw people say, these people is good or bad. These people like me or don't like me to be here because I'm wearing the scarf or I'm looking different. When the Women's Center helped me and my family, put both my child in child care and me continues to do English class twice a week and give me some advice if I ask about any issue in my life. I'm happy in Belfast. This is my second country.
We should not have to fight every year to keep going. So the entire community and voluntary sector are in danger of collapse, and the government can't even speak to each other. What I would want from politicians is, where's your vision? Where's your vision for education? Where's your vision for maternal mental health? Go there and debate those visions.
Lockdown has has perhaps inevitably meant that the lines between work and home are becoming more and more blurred.
It is becoming increasingly obvious that the warnings that women would probably be hit harder than anyone as a result of the economic fallout from the COVID-19 pandemic are being realised.
There's not many childcare provision open, and people are interested in what Windsor's doing. So Windsor is as fab as ever. Here we are delivering childcare to children of frontline workers in a COVID hospital. Here we are with all our networks for young mothers, for the elderly, for mental health. We're just trying to hold people as much as we can. As it was during the Troubles, you just hold the fort in your community and get on with it.
Forwards, backwards, advance, retreat. One day down, the next day grand. Women deserve the room to be. Space to be are on ourselves. Old, young, local, blow in, just arrived, and struggling to make sense of it all. Where will we be without this place? And where do we go from here?
Cabbage, carrots, onions, beetroot. Love it because it's organic. Smell of freshness is out there. Smell of freshness.
Oh yeah.
Do you want it?
No.